All right, cool.
You are being recorded.
The following is brought to you in part by MFC Studios. The views of the show's host and guests do not necessarily reflect those of the management, owners, or staff of this radio station. And now, it came from the radio.
Yapatoy, and welcome once again to It Came From The Radio, the official show of the Big Apple Con. This is your host, Mark Torres, speaking. We're here live in front of a live studio audience for our 98th live show, courtesy of the East Mill Public Library. And I'm here with my co-host, Elman Jenny
Hello,
Kelly.
thank you for joining in my private bathroom today. Hello.
And we also have our special guest who we're going to be talking to, with, and about, which is awesome, because he's right here.
All right.
It's author Frank Destefano.
Woo.
How are you? How's everybody?
Hey.
Hello.
Look at this setup.
So, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking to Frank in just a few minutes, but before we do that, we have to take it away with the news. The news is brought to you in part by the fine folks of sci-fi.radio. That is sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. As well as the fine folks of the Big Apple Con, in which we are the official radio show of, celebrating over 26, 7, 8, 9 years of comic bookness and pop culture stuff. For more information, go to www.bigapplecc.com. The next convention, which will be on November the 22nd, and tickets are on sale now. And we're also going to be giving away tickets to that convention at this show. Also want to give out shout-outs to our Patreons, of which there are Danny Grillo, award-winning director Jared Burrell, Newsday famous Dresden Media, Shadow Rabbit Art, Yasmin Array, The Huracan, and Millie Portes. The Huracan is also a convention on November the 22nd, but that's in East Rockaway, New York, and you can only get tickets there in person. Normally we do our, if you want to get your own little shout out, go to our website, www.itcamefromradio.com. There's a little button on there that takes you right to our Patreon page. Also on the It Came From The Radio website is my book, Designated, a book about two warring alien races fighting over a newly discovered power source. The war finds its way to planet Earth, and as a result, some humans gain abilities. Issue 1 is on sale, and if issue 1 does still selling very well, issue 2 will be out next year. So we're getting closer and closer to that happening. But as normally, we usually take away with the news. We're going to start off with the sad news, which we only have one bit of sad news this week. Actress Rose Diane Ladd, known professionally as just Diane Ladd, died recently of idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which is a rare progressive illness of the respiratory system, characterized by a thickening and stiffening of lung tissue that surrounds the air sacs and is associated with the formation of scar tissue. In over her 70-year career, Diane has appeared in such films and TV shows as The Wild Angels, Chinatown, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which led to her working on the TV series Alex, which the movie was based on for 22 episodes, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Sweetwater, Black Widow, not that one, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Wild at Heart, A Kiss Before Dying, 28 Days, The Cemetery Club, Carnosaur, Mrs. Munich, Ghost of Mississippi, Charlie's War, Kingdom Hospital, 16 episodes of the series Enlightened, and 43 episodes of the series Chesapeake Shores, just to name a few. Of note, she was the mother of actress Laura Dern with her ex-husband, actor Bruce Dern. She was 89 years old. Should I ask if you are familiar with Diane's work?
I like National Lampoons, and I like to know what Carnosaur is.
Carnosaur was Carnosaur was the rip-off movie of Jurassic Park. So like whenever a big movie comes out, there's always like a rip-off.
Sure.
That was Carnosaur. They had like 6 of them. It was crazy.
Really?
It was
I
like
remember that.
It was like the Sharknado this time, but it was dinosaurs. It was Carnosaur.
Oh my god.
Because it ate people. You know, it's meat eaters, Carnosaur.
This sounds amazing.
So that was in the it's in the early 90s.
And I was just thinking about dinosaurs.
Early 90s.
And I just used a dinosaur emoji for the first time in ever.
Really?
This is more of an inside thing. Sorry, not great for the radio, but every week, almost everything that happens in my life or during the day, I'll come to the show and it's like the exact
Something
topic,
happens,
exact person, very specific for years. And he's like, what the hell? How does this always happen?
It's weird.
So dinosaurs, because I'm in a skit, I'm in a thing, and my name is Herpasaur. It's a Pokemon parody. Yeah, but anyway.
Frank, you're familiar with Diane's work?
Anyway.
Not really.
That's fine.
Sadly, not.
That is fine.
Just put him on the spot.
So that's it for the sad news. See, we went through it
yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
So we're going to go to the not as sad news.
Great.
From the That's a Lot of Nuts department. The new Predator film Badlands has taken the #1 spot in the domestic box office, pulling in $40 million in ticket sales in its first week of release, beating out the new McKenna Grace drama film Regretting You, which came in at the #2 spot for a third week in a row, making an additional $6.6 million in its third week of release. For those of you keeping track, the Minecraft movie is still the highest grossing film of this year so far. We're almost out of the year, with $423.9 million, followed by the live-action Lilo and Stitch film with $423.7 million. Now, we only have like 4 big movies that are coming out between now and the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We have Wicked Part 2, Zootopia Part 2, Avatar Part 3, and the SpongeBob movie. So, Jen, do you think any of those will be the highest grossing film, or do you think it's just going to be Minecraft and that's it? You're familiar with the other
You know
one?
what? I'm sorry. At 41, I've become very out of touch with what people like in the
Okay.
mainstream world, and all of this, I can't say I'm too interested.
All right. Frank, are your thoughts?
I saw Wicked.
Okay.
You saw Wicked.
Thoughts?
I liked it, but I just think Avatar is over the top. It's a James Cameron movie. You know,
Yeah.
I personally like those. I'll go out and go watch that.
Avatar.
Yeah, love those movies.
Okay.
I mean, it's also I think it's the #1 movie of all time.
What about Titanic? What do you think of?
Titanic? I like that, but you know, that was back in 1997.
Maybe they could do a sequel.
You know, you say that, but they did make a sequel to Titanic
Which I
called Raise the
reviewed.
Titanic.
Oh,
Oh
there's
yeah, that
another
other,
one.
yes, the other one. What was that? Titanic 666 was it? Something?
Some 90210 actress that's in it.
Right,
And
but it
I
was.
interviewed them.
Yes, but I
Forgot,
was like,
yeah.
I think it was called Titanic 666. That's the.
Yeah,
That's the name.
that's
of
it.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
Okay.
It's like a
But-
ghost. The ghosts of the
Yes,
Titanic's past
yes,
come back
yes.
on the cruise ship where all these people say, let's take a cruise to the graveyard, and all of these influencers, and the ghosts get the influencers. How dare you make a mockery of my death? I liked it.
But in the 80s, I think it was the 80s, they made
Uh-huh.
Raise the Titanic, where they
Oh.
actually tried to bring the Titanic up. They had to put like balloons or something underneath.
Really?
Yes.
For
that
real?
was-
It's a
For
doc?
real? No.
Yeah, I think he's
No, it's
right.
a-
There's a real document.
It wasn't a
on it.
documentary, but
Oh,
it
I
was.
thought it was
Oh.
a documentary. I know they made a
It's
couple
fictional.
documentaries.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
but they
takes
did
me
find the Titanic remains, I think, in the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year or two.
No, they found that years
No,
years
ago.
ago.
no, recently they found more stuff.
There was
No,
they-
no. I
they
think
know
she's
where-
right. They found more stuff
They did,
scattered
they did.
away from the
Oh, from the
original
main-
crash
Yeah,
shots.
recently,
Like yeah,
very recently.
yeah, just
I know.
within the last year.
I died in the Titanic, according to one psychic,
Yes,
so I would
you
know.
mentioned that a couple
Yes,
times.
I would know.
All right.
It's my
So,
past.
moving on. Let's see. We can do
Coming
this.
back to get what's mine.
Well, let's do this one. So speaking of movies, moving on. From the Might As Well Strike While the Iron is Lukewarm department. None other than Universal Pictures has announced that they are bringing back the Brendan Fraser Mummy franchise with a new sequel, reuniting Brendan and his co-star Rachel Weisz. Oded Ferrer is also expected to return. For those of you who do not know, or care for that matter, both starred in 1990's The Mummy, and its sequel, The Mummy Returns, in 2001. The new sequel will be written by Orphan's First Kill, David Coggenshaw, and directed by the guys who did the 2 latest Scream sequels, and is said to ignore the third part of the series, which is called Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, as well as the Tom Cruise Mummy, which was the beginning and the end of Universal's Dark Universe. On top of all that, Blumhouse and New Line Cinema had also announced its own standalone The Mummy film with director Lee Cronin, who most recently made the latest Evil Dead sequel. Were you a fan of the Mummy series or Brendan Fraser?
Brendan Fraser, great. Evil Dead, great. You know, a lot of key players in here. Scream, great. There's a lot of potential to make this good. No, I don't know. The Mummies of an Underground,
were
and I
you-
never saw it.
You never saw Mummy?
Nope.
Frank, you a Mummy
Come
fan?
on, yeah.
And
So what
Yeah, I love them. And
all 3 of them?
I did. Well, I didn't watch the one with Tom Cruise. I wouldn't bother wasting my time.
Why
on-
not?
No.
Why?
No,
Give
because
us the reason.
Brandon Fraser wasn't in it.
Oh,
He
okay.
made it. That whole cast was really good.
But the third one they replaced Rachel
With
Weisz
Tom
with
Cruise,
Maria,
yeah.
no, with Maria Bella.
Yeah, well, she wasn't in it either. So I had to watch with them. The whole cast between the first 2 were great.
That would be really strange if they replaced Rachel Weisz with Tom Cruise. You know?
That would be completely different movie. Completely different.
I
movie.
would love to replace his role in Tropic Thunder.
So, you know what's funny?
Dream role.
when I went to San Diego in 2008, I saw Tropic Thunder before it was like the special screening of it. And I didn't know that was Tom Cruise. I had no idea that was him until the end.
Yeah.
And my friend Andre, he was like, that was totally, he knew he knew it from the get-go.
Yeah.
I'm like, how could you tell? But I really was so into the movie, I didn't
Well, he got his
separate it from
less something.
Less something, yeah.
Yeah, it's less something. He's an agent.
Yeah.
And he's supposedly getting his own movie. I heard a couple years ago. I was actually quoting him and thinking of him and even redesigning my workout equipment so I could be on the phone and working out like him and I kept referring to him in text messages. And this was going on for like a week, and then I found out they're making a film all about that character.
But
I think they might have.
But it kind of fell apart because it's just how it is.
Yeah.
So
that's a shame.
What's interesting about the Orphan's First Kill that he's writing the movie is that for the next bit of news, none other than Lionsgate has announced a new Orphan movie has begun filming and will be a midquel taking place between the aforementioned Orphan First Kill and the original Orphan, with Isabella Furman returning in the lead role, which is written by David Cornshaw. For those of you who don't know, or care for that matter, the original film was in 2009, where, spoilers, Isabel, who was 13 years old at the time, plays a full-grown adult pretending to be an orphan. The prequel, Orphan First Kill, had Isabella, who was 23 at the time, reprising her role, playing a younger version of herself from the first movie. Now, I remember when The Orphan first came out, and they were talking, I used to work in a movie theater at the time, and they were talking about the big surprise twist that The Orphan had. And I was like, because that was the draw.
Right.
Like, oh, you won't believe the big surprise twist of this movie.
Oh.
Talking about The Orphan.
Oh.
And I'm like, what could it be? What could it be? And I was like, I know what it is. I was like, it's an evil baby midget. And that was
your guess?
That was my guess. And I told everybody at the theater, and they're like, yeah. But then we went to the movie, and it really was, she was playing her character in the movie is an adult pretending to be a child. So basically, I was kind of on point.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm watching the movie, and when they make the big reveal, I jumped. I was like, "Evil baby!"
Was it evil though?
Well, she was evil because she was trying to take over the family,
Yeah, I don't.
and she wanted to replace the mom
Oh.
because she was an orphan. She tried to work her way into the life,
Yeah.
and she's
Okay.
trying to get rid of the mom and seduce the dad.
Oh.
So you have to
wow.
think that as a 13-year-old actress,
Yeah.
pretending to be an adult,
Yeah,
pretending to be
sure.
a 13-year-old actress, trying
That
to
is
hit
your
on,
prediction. You were right.
trying to hit on an adult
Yeah.
for if you're an actress,
wow.
that's a crazy, weird thing.
See, this is where my guess of what the movie's about is totally wrong. Because they're orphans. You think, oh, okay, victim. Oh, so sad, an orphan. But
well, that was the thing.
when you're behaving like this, I don't feel bad
you
for you.
felt
You're going to be an orphan forever if you behave like this. No one's going to want you.
But then, like
I would give her
said,
away if she was my child.
The weird thing is that in the sequel, now she's 23,
Right,
playing an adult, playing a child, playing an adult.
right.
But when she first started, she was a child playing an
It's
adult,
just-
playing a child.
Reversed.
Right.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And so now, for the third movie, she's playing an older version of her younger self that's older, that's younger. It's the craziest thing
Yeah, that's fun.
for an actress
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. I love stuff like that.
And I have to say, the first movie was pretty darn good.
Uh-huh.
And the second movie, you if you buy the premise
Yeah.
that a 23-year-old actress is now playing a 13-year-old,
Yeah.
you're in it. I thought it was pretty darn
Is
good.
it scary? Is it disturbing?
It's disturbing a little bit. It wasn't scary.
Okay.
Did you see The Orphan, Frank?
No.
You've never seen The Orphan?
No.
Oh my God, this was the
Never heard of
greatest
it?
thing ever.
I have.
Why did you click away?
I just never saw it.
You don't like orphans?
No.
Orphan lives matter.
That's terrible.
I might cut a clip. We're starting the room. Maybe Frank doesn't like orphans.
So moving on. From they tried it with Betty White department.
Right.
In honor of his upcoming 100th birthday, there will be a new documentary on Dick Van Dyke released in theaters for a limited time on December the 13th of this year. Dick Van Dyke's 100th celebration will hit theaters nationwide and will feature both old and new interviews and clips. Are you a fan of Dick Van Dyke's work?
I mean, who isn't a fan of Dick?
Frank, are you a fan of Dick Van Dyke's work?
I'm
No?
trying not to
No?
crack.
Alright.
What?
He-
Is he a
he's funny.
comedian?
He's
Should we just go?
yeah, it's,
Alright. I think it's really cool that Dick Van Dyke
Someone tickling you
will
guys?
be in the theaters, hopefully, unlike with Betty White, she'll make it to the 100th birthday. Because we had
Right.
all this stuff planned for Betty White,
Right
and then she
before.
died before her
Like, what was it,
birthday.
like a couple days or something?
I
Wasn't
think
like
it
really
was-
close?
it was
It was
really
like
close.
it wasn't that long, and then
Right.
Dick Van Dyke had to get rescued from the fires in California. I know. His,
Really?
yeah, his
Was he
house.
rescued?
I forgot who rescued him, but his house caught fire from when all the
Yeah.
parasite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's okay.
You know, I can't tongue tied. With all those fires that they had happened, but like he was 99, and like I remember reading about him. Like,
But yeah, he's
Wow.
still alive. And
Yeah,
fingers
thank
crossed
God,
he'll make
you
it
know,
to-
Maybe
Yeah.
he should have
To the
jumped in his
100.
neighbor's pool. Did you guys hear that story?
No.
There's a couple. This is a real story. Again, I know there's people that commented. I checked the comments. Like, oh, I know those people. There's a couple in California who spent the entire night. They jumped in their neighbor's pool. Unfortunately, the neighbors died. The house actually burned down, but the pool was. And the couple went into the pool and they hid, and they only came out just to breathe for air, and they survived through the Palisades fire.
Oh,
and this is
man.
a true story. So maybe Dick Van Dyke, someone should have just thrown him in a pool.
I don't think he could have moved that fast.
And someone
Just
could have-
saying.
So that's
you know,
why when we get old, we
just
gotta have
saying.
young people around that can throw us in pools, so we can bob for apples for air. You know.
You know, the only time he was moving is if he has scooter. No.
Well, we won't have to worry about this if Newsom's not around.
But moving on.
Mark loves when I get political.
From the, let's see,
Go Gavin Newsom.
let's do this one. From the, remember when they dumped $30 million worth of merchandise in a landfill department?
Nope.
None other than Funko has announced that they have a $61 million net loss for this year so far. For those of you not paying attention, Funko's last CEO held the position for 14 months after being replaced by its current CEO of 2 months, who says, you want to read what he says?
Sure. There is a challenging retail environment. Wait, is this a man or a woman?
This is a man.
There's a challenging retail environment where retailers have slowed their restocking, prioritized lower inventory levels, and in some cases have canceled their orders. Tariffs reduce net sales, gross margin, and net income, and could impact consumer discretionary spending in future periods.
Keep on.
There's a substantial doubt about our ability to continue as a going concern for the next 12 months. I'm only 60 days into the role, but it's already clear how powerful the Funko branding is and how much growth opportunity lies ahead. Beginning with lightning-fast launches like K-pop Demon Hunters, where we'll be one of the only licensees on the shelves this holiday season, we're moving fast to turn pop culture into products, expanding new fandoms, and delivering bold retail experiences and celebrating the creativity that makes Funko unique.
Now, to make matters even worse, none other than PSA, which is a grading company, has announced that they will discontinue its Funko Pop grading services as of December 1st of this year. Executive says,
December 1st will be the final day to submit pop figures for grading, reholder, or dual service submissions. Submissions received by December 1st will be graded or authenticated as normal. PSA will continue to offer autograph-only authentication and encapsulation for signed Funko Pop figures. Sorry, I had a drink before dinner. Those items will receive PSA's blue label to indicate only the autograph has been authenticated. Now it says to mention 2023 Funko Pop.
yeah, that's a note for me.
I know.
So basically, so people who don't know, Funko Pop is those little figurines in little
Never understood
box.
it.
But it's like the pet rock. It's just
Right.
like something that you kind of cool. But what they did was they cornered the market in all IP properties. So they go out and they try to get as many different IP properties as they can to get the licensing deal. So they are the only official makers of that particular item for that
Right.
particular thing. So you have Back to the Future, you have
Right.
Corner Store, you have Jurassic Park, you have K-pop Demon Hunters, you have Friday the 13th. They
Yeah.
make all of those
Someone
things.
just gave me, because I'm in a Friday the 13th, and someone just gave me
Oh,
something.
fun. So you're right.
I
So
think they have one for the film I'm in.
they do have a Funko Pop of the Jason. It might not be for that particular movie that
Right.
you're in, but it's
It
that
might be,
character.
yeah.
They were
So
child's play.
what happened was in 2023, they announced that the amount of inventory they had was so high that the amount of money they spent on a storage facility would be more than if they actually sold the product. So they decided that they'll take all that inventory and dump it in a landfill. $30 million worth of product.
Look at
They
that.
just dump that was one of the big controversies at the time. They're like,
Sell it.
"Just give it away." They couldn't sell it because it wasn't worth the amount of money that
Give it to
they
people
had.
who will sell
But
it.
that's the thing. They were like, they wanted to donate it, send it
Yeah.
overseas,
People losing
whatever.
their houses. Come on.
But they didn't. So in
Yeah.
2023, they just took it. They closed down that
Crazy.
warehouse. They saved the money of
Wow.
spending the rent for the warehouse, dumped $30 million worth of product, and they've been losing money ever since.
Wow.
Now, they do make, a couple bazillion dollars every year,
They do.
but if they made $500 million last year,
Mhm.
and they made $489 million this year,
Mhm.
it still counts as a loss.
Right.
So that's why they fired the one guy,
Wow.
and then they put somebody else in, and they fired the second guy. So now this person is like, I don't know what's going on, but the company is in dire straits because
Is
they
it?
can't. If they're continually losing money, even though
Yeah.
they're making money,
Right.
they're still losing. It's a loss. So for the shareholders,
Sure.
and
No,
all
I
that stuff,
understand
right.
all that.
So if they don't find any type of reprieve,
Right.
or people buying more of their items,
Right.
which it doesn't do anything. It's just
Yeah.
a figurine. It's just there.
Yeah.
And most people buy it because they're under the assumption that it's a collectible item.
Right.
And one of the things that they do
Right.
is get it graded. And so if the grading company refuses
Yes.
to
Oh,
grade
yeah.
your item,
Right.
right there you lose half your
That's it.
potential
Though.
customers.
December 1st is the last day.
But they will still do the signature ones. So if you buy a pop, you go to a Power
Signed.
Ranger, you get them signed it, they can still grade that to try to raise the value.
So
of
everyone's
the
got to
item.
find some influencer because celebrities are dying. I don't know if celebrities is going to be a thing in 10 years. I don't know. Maybe it will.
It's possible.
But now you got to find those celebrities to sign it to keep it worth something.
Well, that's the idea. So
Huh.
the base of the customers of Funko Pop
Right.
are the collectors, not
Right.
the people who are actual fans of the item
Yeah.
or the fan of the Funko Pop. They
Oh.
believe that if I pay $20,
Yeah.
$30 for this item, I
gonna
can
go
either
up.
get it signed, I
Yeah.
can get it graded,
Right.
and then I can resell it for 2-3 times the
Yes.
amount.
Yes.
But the thing is, no one else is buying it, and everybody's just buying it because they think they can resell it.
Right.
And if everybody buys the same thing to resell it,
Right.
everybody has it, so they don't need to resell it because they already have one.
Now, do you know personally a lot of people who buy these Funkos?
I know like 2 people who buy them,
Is it?
but
You too?
yeah, only like 2. But one buys them because they like the blacklight ones,
Oh.
so they have like the special glow in
Yeah.
the dark, so they have that. But the other people who I know who buy them, like one of the guy, he buys it just to resell it. That's
Okay.
what he does.
Yeah.
I know quite
Yeah.
a few that actually go to Comic Cons
To get them.
and sells
Oh,
them.
and sell them.
Yeah, so they.
Oh, so people are just trying to get rid of these things.
Well, that's his business.
So-
he buys Funko Pops
And he
from.
said, is he a fan?
Yeah, I mean, he's a fan of money.
I mean,
You know.
it's like working in the porn industry and you're
Yeah.
celibate, you know.
I mean, he lives.
You know,
I mean,
kind of like me, you know.
he goes to Rhode Island Comic Con and Boston, and it's part
But
of
you
his
don't know if
business.
he likes them. That's the funny part.
So wait, so that's his business, is that he buys Funko Pops and then resells them.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But does he have a
So
collection?
is he?
Oh,
Have you spoken to him recently? Has it been
I-
like sales are down? Has he?
he
Right,
does.
I want to know.
He does
Sorry.
very well with it, but
Right.
like overall from a company, he probably buys from some warehouse, just like I'm
Yeah.
sure there's the secondary markets for things.
Right.
So that's probably what he does, or whatever this
Right.
warehouse, just like anything else. You could always.
We got to get this guy out of their next guest. No. The reason why I asked so many questions about this, I know it's probably not interesting for you guys or listeners, so we'll move on to AP. But I've been seeing these for years, and I've just been wondering personally why.
What's the
You
draw?
know, like what?
Because they just sit on the shelf.
You know, like Taylor
that's-
Swift, I wonder, but I kind of get it, okay. But like these things, my stepbrother is autistic. He's like 30-ish, and he has a whole collection in my childhood bedroom. It's taking up. They had to move furniture around to make room for all these Funkos. So there was one guy I know
Right.
who lives in a childhood room I grew up in, who has a huge collection, and I kind of wonder why does he like it?
So now you know it's a collectible thing. It's a thing that.
But I
people-
get what she's saying.
But
Like
maybe it's
you
not.
get it, you put it on the shelf, and what does it do? You just blow dust off of
Yeah,
it.
you're just making my dad upset
You know.
because he doesn't like all this stuff hanging around. You know, it's been a point of contention.
So speaking of a point of contention.
Yeah.
Moving on from the you can't double dip department.
Mm-hmm.
As reported on a previous episode on our show, Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters theatrical run made #1 in the box office during its initial release after being the most watched everything on the streaming service. Of course, to be fair, they only count the first 3 months or so So not all watchtowers have everything on the site, but that's what they like to say. So Netflix had decided to bring it to the theaters. It made a whole big bag of money, which I didn't think was going to be because it had such high ratings and so many people watched it on Netflix. I was like, who the hell's going to go to the movie theaters? But it made a big bag of money. So then Netflix decided to bring it back to the movie theaters for a second time into theaters with an expected run based on their first time of $3.4 million additional dollars. Turns out that the second time they brought it back in the theaters, it topped out at around $600,000. So this is something of where I guess everybody wants to see it once as like an experience,
And then
but
that
then
was
that's it. Like, you don't
Yeah.
want to go back to see it again.
Why would you?
And well, obviously the executives thought it was a thing, and which is funny. It reminded
Or maybe
me
they thought
of
new people would come.
maybe.
I
But
don't
if
get them
everybody,
double
if
watching
everybody
it.
saw this movie,
Yeah.
if everybody saw it once on Netflix,
Yeah.
well, I never saw it. Did
I
you
never
watch
saw it
You never
either.
saw it?
I
Yeah.
just heard about it. I was kind of wondering what the fuss was about.
See, you heard about it. That's how big
yeah,
it is.
yeah, people
right?
mention, yeah.
And that's what I'm always saying about things that cross pollinate.
Yeah.
That if something is so big that you're not even into it and
Right.
you hear about it,
Right.
it's got to be big.
Right.
So this is a huge thing on
Huge.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It came to movie theaters, made a big bag of money.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, well, if it made a big bag of
It'll do
money,
it again.
it'll do it again.
They
And it
should have
did.
waited more time.
But
You can't
you gotta
you
strike
can't.
while
It's like
the iron is
having a
hot.
big concert, and they're like, "Hey, tomorrow we're gonna do it again." It's like everybody in the area already just went. Like,
Well, we were
we
just talking
exhausted
about the Funko
resource.
Pop, how they went and got the license for K-pop Demon Hunters because they got to strike
Well, that
all the
makes
iron.
sense.
They got to try and get the money
And just
in
sorry,
there.
go back to that. Like, get like Scott Baio. You know what I would do if I had a big K-pop collection? They didn't say you get a celebrity that matches. You know, lets you get a Friday the 13th Funko Pop. Get it signed by Scott Baio. Get it signed by anybody who has a name. It doesn't
Scott
matter.
Baio?
Okay, I was watching videos of him last night. He's still
Okay.
hot, yeah, but he's
Where
still
did you
hot.
get Scott Baio from?
He's still kicking. So he's a celebrity. Have him sign your Funko Pops. Boom. Now the price goes up. Get the stuff authenticated anytime because this is going to be available after December 1st. Solutions. No, really. Why not? Or here. He's selling all these books, right? So you sign
Okay.
everyone's K-pop. What the hell they're called? Funko
Well,
Poppers. Yeah.
well, the question is, who would want a Friday the 13th Funko Pop signed by Scott Baio? You.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody's listening. Christmas
Sure.
is coming around.
Scott Baio, what's up?
Get her a Funko Pop signed by Scott Baio.
Well, don't. No, I'm just saying if I had one, I would want to make it worth something so I get him to sign it. But I don't want one.
Oh, okay.
Let's stop making all this stuff and putting it in landfills. You know, like,
What's
come on.
What's weird about
Sorry,
this is
Funko.
that the companies just have no idea what the people want. Because this reminded me of Morbus, the Jared Leto film that he plays
Oh,
a vampire based
Morbius?
Oh,
Morbius.
that
Morbius.
did
Yeah.
really bad.
So
Yeah.
yes, so the movie
I
did
see.
terrible. The movie was in theaters.
Okay.
It did horrible in movie theaters, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking less of
But
it.
then people were making fun of the movie
Right.
online.
Right.
And so the social media engagement
Oh.
went up through the roof.
Right,
And
but
the executives were like, oh my God, people are talking about our movie. Let's bring it back to the theaters.
Right.
And when they brought it back to the theaters, it flopped again. It's one of the few movies that ever flopped twice in
Wow.
the same year. And they're like,
Wow.
I don't understand what happened.
Wow.
So it's the same thing where if you have something, which I was surprised that it made any money at all in
Really?
theaters,
Really?
that this movie did. K-pop Demon
Yeah,
Hunters.
yeah.
Because it's already on Netflix.
Oh,
Everybody already
right,
seen it.
right,
You
right,
see it for
right.
free.
You're
Why
right.
would you go pay for something?
Right.
But it did.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, it'll be great. And then it did.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of weird and odd.
Now I want to see this. What is this? Morbius with Jared? Is it boring? What's the problem?
I've
with
never
this?
seen it. I have no
Vampire
intention of-
supposedly.
I love
Mar-
vampire.
Marvel.
Marvel
Oh, it's
vampire.
Marvel. It's Marvel.
yeah.
Marvel
So
vampire movies.
What is that? 2 years ago?
A couple years.
2 years?
2 years maybe?
Yeah.
But why,
No,
what's the
maybe
problem
3.
with it? Why don't people like it? They
I
just
don't
don't like Jared Leto.
Watch,
I don't know.
watch
I
it
like
and
him.
find out.
Well, Jared Leto gets a lot of hate online. What's all this hate for him? Like, you know, Kim Kardashian gets hate. You know, Jared Leto. I feel like I've never heard anyone say a nice thing about the guy. Like, why is he so hated? I know I heard he's a cult leader. Might be an MK Ultra or something.
You just answered your own question.
No, I heard that. I don't know if he really
I don't know
is.
why if you don't like him, but I hear he's a cult leader.
I heard
That's like-
that.
all
But it's
right.
just a rumor. It's like, you know, they have rumors about me, but they're not true.
All right.
Just some of them.
So I think that's it for the news.
Sure. Let's
We're going to take
go.
a quick break in front of our live
All
studio
right.
audience.
Yay!
It came from
All right.
radio.
All right. All right.
Hey everybody, Todd Todd McFarlane of the
Sorry,
record-setting
disrupting
Spawn
naps.
comic series.
That might have been.
And if you're looking for any kind of cool conversation about creators,
Yeah, it's good to
about
hear.
entertainment, about all that good stuff, you go to It Came From the Radio. You listen to the right spot.
I'm just saying some of that oil in my hand.
This is Quentin Flynn, a popular voice actor known for Axel, Timon, and Raiden from the Metal Gear series. And you're listening to It Came From the Radio. Stick around.
That's the first one, yeah.
Hey, I'm Mike Kingston, the writer and creator of Headlocks.
And I am WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler, and guess what you're listening to? You're listening to It Came From the Radio!
I barely even listen to that.
Hi, this is Amy Jo Johnson, writer-director from the film The Space Between, and you're listening to It Came From the Radio.
Meet Grimlock having fun on It Came From the Radio! Meet Greg Berger also.
Now, back to our show.
And welcome back to It Came From the Radio, the official of the Big Apple Con. This is your host, Mark Torres, speaking in front of a live studio audience at the Destefano Public Library for our 98th live show with my co-host, Elman and Jenny Feldy.
Hello, good evening.
And our special guest we're going to be talking to with him about Mr. Frank Destefano.
How are you?
I am well. So, Frank, I've known you for many years, actually.
Yes.
I would say, what, a good 5 years, maybe more?
5, 6,
5, 6 years?
something like that.
And over that time, you've managed to create a series of books. Because you started at 1, now you're at 3. What's the goal? You're gonna do 8, 9? What's the
As
goal?
long as I'm alive, the pen's gonna keep on typing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The pen types?
Sorry.
I was gonna let him go, but all right.
Sorry, that's what I'm here for, correcting.
No, I'm the comical
I like
relief.
that.
I'm the
Make your
comical
pen
relief.
type. It's 2025. Pen can type. Maybe the pen identifies as a typist.
So why don't you tell us a
Yes,
little bit
tell us.
about yourself
And my
your
book series?
Yes.
So again, my name is Frank Destefano. I'm the author of the creativity and the mastermind behind the Dark Legend of the Foreigner book series. It's about an ancient Japanese warrior that got frozen 400 years in feudal Japan and wakes up in modern day New York.
So cool.
Yeah, Central Park to be exact. So, just what you want, a 400-year-old person
Yeah.
waking up in Central Park and just causing chaos.
Sounds great.
Yeah, well, it's a great concept because a lot of people, when I bring it to different Comic-Cons and everything, a lot of people ask me what I could compare it to, and I really can't,
Right.
The best comparison that someone said, oh, it's like Captain America. No, because I had a few people actually say that, but Captain America woke up 70 years later.
70.
70.
400 is a little different.
Oh, yeah.
And he also wasn't,
just-
what is it, a Shogun warrior?
He's a
And
Shogun.
also, I'm sorry, but like, I know they say, oh, we're one, we're all the same, but like, I'm sorry, Japanese people are very different than
100
your people.
different-
And I say that with
diff-
respect.
Right.
And I even read last night that they don't want immigrants coming to the country because they want to preserve the Japanese heritage to the point where the population is going down so low.
But
So
that's,
Japanese people are very different than Captain America.
I had to make sure I did my rightfully research and stuff like that. So you preserve that heritage. And that's a very special heritage.
Right.
With the time cultures and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
so I had to do my homework a little bit, but not too crazy. For the most part, it's like 80% made up. But like at the very beginning, like I went in, like I self-published my books, couldn't get it shot by literary agents, which was a shame. But as an indie author, you have to find a way. You don't get knocked down. I'm from New York. You get knocked down, you stand right up.
Right.
It's just the New York mentality. But also, if you don't do something about it, no one else is.
Yes.
You got to show the love and dedication for it. So, I just love writing it. I mean, I wrote book 4 and 5 recently. I'm still writing 5 right now. So, the series is ongoing. As long as ideas pop in my head, I got probably 7 different titles within, it's just crazy. I could walk down the street and I'll think of something, And I have to say, and I don't diss on anybody else how they come up with ideas. I think I have a gift because I could think of ideas just walking down the street and to put together characters, storylines, things to keep the readers What's the word I'm looking for?
Engaged.
Thank you, thank you.
Engaged.
Engaged in the storylines, and just like any movie that you want to watch, right? If there's multiple sequels, you have to do it differently. Like the first two books were basically Japan and New York, and the third book, I'm all over. I'm in Brazil, I'm in Asia, I'm in parts in. Do I go to New York? No, but I'm in like 3 different countries in the third one. The fourth one's a little all over. The fifth one's all over. But I like to change the scenery because if you're constantly doing New York, like any of you guys could answer. If you're reading a book and you're constantly reading about New York, wouldn't you kind of get bored of that?
No, I like the same thing over. I've had the same car like 7 times. It's the same model since I've been started driving, and I hope I don't ever have to change. So I'm a loyal to.
I like RAV4s. Like that's what I drive.
But that's weird.
But
Most people know. People want variety. Yeah.
But to me, I would want to read about a different scenario,
Right.
a different area that you're going.
normal.
Except, like maybe it's just because I live in New York, right? So you don't want other people to be like, oh, I'm from Boston or Orlando or wherever I'm going. Hey, let's read something else, but or a different area. So that's why I try to, especially places I haven't gone, like Brazil. You've never gone to Brazil,
Right.
But like that's where part of my story that I'm writing for book 5 is, and then all over. It's just I try to spread the love, shall I say?
So how do you do your research? Well, how did you do your research for Japan, and then how did you do your research for Brazil?
Google is
Google?
great.
You
Google
don't
is
talk
great.
to people that travel there?
Google is great. No, I looked up stuff. I looked at different books and stuff.
Okay.
But like a lot of it's really not like it's basically like the book is 90%, fantasy science fiction, right? But there is at the very beginning of the book is like I think it's like in the first couple sentences there was a tsunami that basically wiped out parts of Japan in like 1602, and that's probably the only thing that's factual in there, besides different other things. But I try to keep it my story, not about real shogun families and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I didn't want to really go with the real history. I wanted to make my own, create like a very unique story,
Right.
not about actual shogun families.
Well, I'll give you a little help for your book since you asked. I have a friend who just returned from Brazil. He said that the women are so hot. And everyone's really good looking. They have a lot of surgery, and there's also
They have a lot of surgery.
They also a lot of AIDS. So all that good lookingness, you might want to like not touch anyone there.
No, it wasn't.
Or check them out first.
No.
So maybe this guy's gonna get into some love and romance or lust with all the good-looking people in Brazil. No romance now.
If he came up to you, would you go out with him on a date?
I don't date, but maybe. I don't know. He seems very strong. I like that. He seems a little dangerous. I like that too. I do like that. I like the armor. I like the warrior. I don't know. There's a lot there. The face, not.
Well, there's no real like.
It's kind of like a skeleton face. He doesn't really look alive here.
Well, he's not supposed to.
He looks kind of undead, which is a little worrisome. Yeah. So wait, he's 400. So what is he like? Undead? Like, can you kill him? Does he have special blood?
Oh, I can't tell you
What?
that.
Come on.
He has.
Come on. I want to know if I can date him or not.
Let's put it this way: he'll live forever.
He'll live forever.
Thanos can't even kill him.
Well, he better be nice, because that's going to be a real hard guy to get rid of,
So if he can't die, then what's the draw to the character?
I can't tell you that.
Wait,
Well, you can tell us he
wait, you
can't
need
die.
There's a lot of draw. What do you mean?
What's the draw?
I played someone who can't die. It was great.
It's very unique on how he gets his ability. His fighting abilities from just his training.
Training?
His training.
training.
Not
You know,
training.
it's training.
No.
Try to go.
No,
like, what?
his training.
Gokulex?
His parents were fighters too. They were shoguns, so gets the training from there. But there's things that happen that with demons and other things that he wanted to kind of use him as one of his 6 dark horses. But that never happened.
So demons, real question, do you believe I always ask this. Do you believe in demons?
I believe in everything.
Yeah, you believe. Have you ever seen a demon, or maybe felt like someone you know was possessed by a demon?
No, I can't say I have, but you know, I think there's supernatural out there that
Yeah.
that people, you know, that you know, encountered in, you know, weird things they can't really explain.
Right.
You know, so I think it does exist. It just, you know, sometimes it might be far fetched for people to believe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Until maybe you see certain things, and then you're like, maybe there is evil and good, or maybe there is. What do you think? Okay, last question on this one. We'll go back to your book. Good and evil. Fight between good and evil. Do you think there is one?
I'm sure there's some substance of it.
Okay.
You know. I don't know to what extent, but I'm sure, you know, it does, you know. I don't know how to actually answer that, you know.
That's okay.
You know, I believe in it, but you know, I just, you know, me personally haven't seen anything like that
well.
in my life, so
Yeah.
I can't say, you know, maybe I'm good for that, you know.
For each of the 3 books, is each one a self-contained story, meaning that you can just come in and get book 2, or maybe you just come in and get book 3,
yeah.
or do you have to get all 3 and you just start with the first one?
No, so the same characters are in the first 3 books, and then I mean, obviously, I'm writing book 4 and book 5, so there's things that happen to certain characters, you know, that are not in book 4. So, you know, I keep certain characters that are no longer in the series anymore. You know, can't say if they live or die, but you know, I went away from like New York because I had certain cop characters that were in New York and stuff like that. So they were in the first 3, you know, and they, you know, they're a good part of the story. And then I just went away from that, where I just mainly focused on the master. That's his name. That's my character's name. He's the master because he's the master of everything. You take anybody that we know as martial artists or karate champions, or put, you know, that's basically, he could fight every one of them and he could still win.
Who would play him in a movie? You would want to make this into a movie, right? I already asked you this like years ago. You're still up to that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Like, who's gonna play this guy? The top 3.
I'd say Jet Li.
Jet Li.
What, number 1?
Okay, 2. Jet Li's not available, I'd say. Let's just say.
Wouldn't do Jackie Chan. I like Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Jackie Chan's very good, but he's
So
also
he's Asian.
Yeah.
Definitely has to be Asian.
Yeah, it's just the martial art ability.
Yeah.
I do like Jet Li a lot, you know. So it's, I mean, I've seen a lot of his movies, and man, that guy moves fast.
Yeah.
And my character, it was when I wrote him as like 6'2", so we know.
Wow.
So he's my height, you know. But that's probably who I would get. I would probably ask for Mark Wahlberg as one of the cops from New York.
Yeah,
because
that.
he's really good. I mean, years ago when I first came up with the idea, it was like 1996. So I had like different casts now of people.
96, really?
Yeah, I hand wrote it in 96 when I was actually working at a movie theater. I came up with the idea.
Wow.
Yeah, hand wrote it
Holy.
in 6 mean notebooks.
I was just telling someone not to do that and giving them a tale of someone I know who wrote an entire script on a character, lost the book. And then my friend lost his book, and I gave him a whole lecture how you have to have online copies of your to-do list, because what if you lost your books? Well, you never lost them, right?
No.
You were lucky.
What I did is
lucky.
I copyrighted it because I
Yeah,
mailed it
yes,
to my
yourself.
house.
Yes.
You know, I basically went to the post office, got an envelope, mailed it,
Yep.
got it within the next day. You know, because I mean that's how you copyright it.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Like sometimes I look back on those 6 books, and half of the characters aren't in there. The story's so different. You know. Yeah, it's just like, you know, and it just look back, and I was like, man, what the hell was I thinking? You know. But it was. It's interesting to go back and see how far I've come as a writer.
Yeah.
Just to see the ideas and stuff like that. So, you know, when I go to different cons and people are able to come up to me and say, "Oh, how'd you go about this? How'd you go about this?" And there are a lot of people out there that have great ideas, but it's just putting it on a computer that makes it more difficult. You know, it's not so easy. You got to put you have to have a good story. You have to have good character development. You have to have good scenes. You know, I try to find a little humor in there. You know,
That's good.
You know,
I'm happy about
you know, like you know. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot of humor in there, but you know, you try to have lines that are just funny. You know, like what did he just say that? You know,
Some people don't like that. I actually shot a film and there was a line that I laughed at, and I thought the actor did great, but I laugh at a lot of things because when you're filmmaking and writing, a lot of the stuff as you're watching it as a producer is funny, but it's not funny to the audience. I laughed. He took it out because I laughed. Because he didn't want anything funny. He wanted the whole thing to be disturbing and not funny. But I'm with you. I think having some humor on the pages
because it's a
here and
curve.
there-
Because it's a curveball. You don't expect
Right.
it. You
And
know.
it's fun for people. It brings a little levity here and there.
I
right?
do.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, a couple lines here, a couple lines there, a couple scenes here. You know, it breaks up like you know the fantasy, the science fiction. Hey, you could throw humor in something. You know, listen, I'm very outgoing. I love to make people laugh, so that's part of my personality. You know, and then you could engage in and just like you know, never thought that. You know, it's. I don't know. I just like to make people laugh. So, you know, I think humor goes a long way in,
Yes.
in life. You
John
know,
Lovitz as your main guy. What if John Lovitz was the Dark Legend and he's the master?
man, that's a very big target. I don't think if he'd be able to run as fast as this guy runs.
CGI.
You know, yeah. Listen, me personally, I would love to play them. Would love to. Don't know a thing of martial arts.
You'll learn.
Yeah, I would.
People learn.
You know, like when I was very, you know, dreamable. I guess when I thought about this, I'm like, yeah, when this gets made, I could play the master, and
Oh, wow.
you know, the only reason why I say that is like because so many people write great things, and sometimes it gets turned into crap, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you know, back then I still have the passion that I do now, right? You know, it's something that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, right? You know, and you don't want some big namer that doesn't think that this is a big deal to someone when it is directly opposite. It's probably means more that that person getting something like this on film or a streaming series or whatever it might be. You know, they put their hard work and dedication, and then someone comes and ruins it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I protect this like it would be my life.
Right.
Because I wrote in '96, so you're talking 2025. It is now. Not far from 26. So, you know, see how long that has. You know, trying to get the word out there, trying to do cons, trying to promote myself on social media. You know, all those things that, in essence, become a second job. You know.
So you said that you wanted someone else to produce it, but that got denied, so you ended up self-producing it. But I remember you texted me a couple of years ago, and I think you told me you sold like 300 or 400 books at some con, and you were really happy. So you did well. I think that's doing well. Self-publishing, are you kind of relieved that maybe you were denied and you did it yourself, or you wished you got published instead by someone else?
Sometimes I have those back and forths. You know, like I tried shopping it to. I must have done like 1,000 to 2,000 literary.
Whoa.
You know, to try to get into a big time publisher. Where, you know, 5% of new indie authors get accepted, so that's not a lot.
Right.
You know, maybe a couple hundred a year, but you know, depending upon. But you know, I've been turned down, but it didn't stop me. So. You know, I had my dad that was very inspirational and kind of pushed me. Hey, you write something. You know, this story came from it. I don't know if any of you ever saw or heard of 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. You know, this is where the Dark Legend came from.
Right. Why though? I forgot.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? It just inspired you because your dad said, "Oh, well, you could do something like that."
Right.
Wasn't
It was
like that?
something. Yes. To
You were
that
watching
one.
it together?
I was watching it. I used to work in hospitality, so I came home
Right.
one night and then I saw that and I said, "Man, this is a bad movie,"
Right.
and I didn't like it. You know, I like Joe Pesci mafia movies, and you know, he's done some great work,
Right.
and you know, great actor. And I'm like, man, this is really bad, you know. So my dad's like, so write something about it. And I'm like, oh, what am I gonna write about? And that just popped in there, like something. Like most people, like what? You
Yeah,
know?
right.
You know,
So
they're like, how is it you watching a mafia movie
Right.
and you get the Dark Legend of Varna? But again, it's also anything that you see, you could be inspired by. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
the same type of genre. It could be different things. You walk down the street, you see a stop sign turn funky ways. You could come up with different things. You could see crack in the sidewalk. You could be driving and see whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, we
crack
all
in
we
the
all
sidewalk.
we all see plenty of cracks in the sidewalk being in New York.
That changed
you
my
know,
life, that
and then
crack.
the traffic here is horrendous. We all know
So
that.
happy they didn't pave that
Yeah.
road. Look at me now.
I mean, I
I'm a
was.
success.
I mean, some of these cons that I've tried, you know, I have a regular job just like a lot of people, right? You know, and this is a side thing that I do. And I remember one day it took me 6 hours to get to Rhode Island. Now driving to Rhode Island, wow, 6 hours?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I left at 5 o'clock in the evening. Took me 6 hours to get there.
Wow.
And then I had another one last year. I promised myself I won't do any cons in the winter anymore.
Really?
In December. I work for Coca-Cola.
Okay.
You know, out you know, in the Babylon area, and I had left to go to Maryland to do Ocean City Comic-Con. And those people are great down there. They're great.
I used to live around there.
And I went down there, and it was kind of cool because when I finally checked in at like 1:30 in the morning, you know, all the hotels up around Ocean City had like all contests on which hotel was gonna have bigger decorations for Christmas, which was really awesome. I'm like, man, like after the con ended on Saturday, I'm like walking around, just popping into the hotels. I'm like, who's got better? Let me take these pictures. I like Christmas.
You'll be the judge.
You know, so but driving to Ocean City, no, 5 o'clock.
You should ask me. I did that drive almost every month for years, 10 years.
Yeah, it took
Every
me,
other month.
like I said, I left about 5 o'clock. I
8
didn't
hours,
get
6
there
hours.
about 1:30 in the morning. You know, and I
Yeah,
was. I mean,
that's a bad one though. That's a bad traffic day.
Yeah, but either way, I made a vow to myself.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't worth it. As much as those people were always good to me, it just sitting in the car driving for 7.5 hours. I'm good. And then I have to drive home on Sunday another 5 hours. So and I kind of got sick kind of like right before Christmas last year. So it's like that's not the time I really want to get sick.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a big one.
So, you know, I kind of like, all right, you know, I got, 11 months to do cons, I'm good, you know?
What if you had a minion or someone that you trusted to represent you and do it for you? But there really can't be any.
It's really tough because people got their lives too, and I don't like to interfere with people's relationships with girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, right? You know, they might have something going on with their family, right? You know, I don't like to overstep my stuff. So if I can't do it, I'm not asking anybody. You know, that's just my pace.
Yeah, me
You know, so many different scenarios that people have in their life. So why should I be more important than their family? So
Well, you can
that's-
pay them.
I
I'm not
can.
suggesting they do this for
I
like,
can,
you know.
I can, but I just feel really awkward about
Yeah.
it, doing that.
And also it's really your stuff. So.
It really is, and it put the love and the sweat into it, So
Yeah.
I mean, I've done fan expos. I've done New York Comic Con, which was the first I've ever done that, which was fantastic, But I mean, I've done a lot of fan expos, so they gave me a lot of love early, and everything. So doing MegaCon Orlando is probably one of my best shows that I've ever done. And it's great because like going down there, it's nice weather. Let's put it this way: when I go down there in February, it's actually March this year. It's just so nice down there. They have 3 different.
Where is that?
Orange County Convention Center.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'll be in Miami, March.
Are you?
Yep.
Nice.
I'll only be a mascot at Ultra Music Festival.
Oh,
I get
nice.
to just be myself and talk to people and get paid.
There you go.
Alright. Hey,
You know,
cool.
so I'm not driving down there. I'm flying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, well.
I'm too old to be
What about
driving.
trains? But you have to carry all your books, right?
Yeah, well, I'm shipping it down to the hotel this time. The
Or
last
drone it.
I didn't think about that.
I just got a call from a friend who's part of a company that the business he's in uses drones and they can carry as much as 300 pounds, 1,500 miles. Just found this out.
Wow. I think I still. I'm good with the shipping. You know,
Yeah.
UPS or
No
whatever.
drone.
No drones for me, unless it's carrying like Chick-fil-A or something. You know,
Maybe you
then
can drop it on like some enemies you have.
I don't have
Like an
enemies.
anvil, like a Looney Tunes. You know,
At least
drop
if
your
I have
books.
enemies, I don't know who they are. So maybe that's a bad thing. You know,
No, it's
and
good.
try to always treat people the way someone would want to be treated. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you treat people with respect and honor. So, you know, that's just my take on life.
Well, you keep elevating, you might. I imagine you're probably gonna have some type of haters or enemies, or you might be lucky because a lot of times success brings adversity.
People always ask me when they come up to the table and they're like, "Why do you spend so much time with fans?" I'm like, "They're the ones that make you."
Yep.
You know, and you know, you want to take the time for, you know, if I ever was signing at a New York Comic Con, I'd make sure that whoever was waiting, I'd sign every last fan.
Yes.
Because that's how you build your brand, how you build trust. You know, same thing with musicians. You know whether it was Kiss or Guns N' Roses or Taylor Swift or Linkin Park, which is my favorite still. You know, or Godsmack or other rock bands that I'm sure so many different people in this room listen to so many different bands, right? Or types of music, right? But you had. Something had to attract them to you. Why are you listening to them? Why are you reading them?
Right.
Why do you like their acting skills? Why? So the old age-old question is, why do you follow them?
Right, like Ice Cube. I
So,
like Ice Cube.
speaking of following people, social media time, where can people follow you, find out more about your stuff? Go.
Yeah. Instagram, frank.destefano, and on Instagram. My website is frankdestefanoauthor.com. Facebook, same thing. People can find me there, Frank DeStefano. You'll see this lovely, pretty face of mine, standing and holding my books. That's so, easy because my last name is very common too. So,
Yes.
so I make it easier.
And you were nice enough to give out a copy of your book. Which book are you
Hey.
going to be giving about?
No, they get all three. What do you
All
get?
three. All right.
All
So
three.
is it one winner for three
No,
books?
you
or
just split it up,
each
right?
person gets a book. It's your
Well,
raffle.
Yeah.
I got, I'll do two raffles.
Two raffles for
All
three
three.
books each. All right. Everybody has a raffle ticket?
2 raffles for 3. So like one person gets 2.
One person gets 3 books, the second person gets 3 books.
Yes.
I thought you were
And
gonna
then-
give one person 2, and then the other one gets 1.
Well, because I got 3 books, so if you read
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
one, you're gonna want to read
Yes.
the second and third.
And we're also giving away tickets to the Big Apple Con. So we'll do one book, and then the Big Apple
Great.
convention. So
Great.
pull out,
My hand's gonna
pick
get,
one.
My hand's gonna get stuck.
That's part of the trick of this show. We want all the men to put their hands in the
Let's
jars.
see.
Oh, you already pulled out 2, all right? So read the first one.
All right, 376814.
376814. Yeah. All right. So we get that in 1 second. Next one. Put that aside.
anything.
There you go. Hold on. What's the next one?
376812.
6812. Here we go.
There you go. Wow.
You get your
yeah.
pack, and then finally, for the 2 tickets to the Big Apple Con, which will be on November the 22nd in Manhattan at the New York Hotel. No looking. Make sure you got one.
376817.
6817.
Oh, wow.
All right, so there we go. So we're almost out of time.
More
Do you have any
tickets.
final thoughts,
Final thought.
Frank?
I'm good.
We're gonna pass. Have
Yes.
someone pick
You have
another one.
tickets.
Pick another one.
He wants somebody else to win a ticket. All right.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they have tickets.
Let's see.
Yeah,
what he has.
yeah.
I remember.
All right, so we got one more. Hold on.
You can clone yourself.
One more.
376815.
6815. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, all right.
Tickets to Big
So
Apple
you got
Con.
tickets to the Big Apple Con. We'll take care of you at
They
the
have
end of the
them,
show. Final thought? What's your final thought?
Thank you for having me today. I'm really, was really happy to come and hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
Jen, final thought?
If you want things to go well in your life, use my formula. Say thanks, do good deeds, and then be proactive and take action.
So my final thought is this. Thank you, friends, for coming down here. Much continued success. Let's hope it gets turned into a big old time movie series.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
So that about does it for this week on It Came From the Radio. Join us right here any week on this radio station. If you missed any part of the show, go to our website, www.itcamefromhere.com. Archives will be up in a week or so. Our next live show at the East Mellow Public Library in front of a live studio audience will be on Wednesday, December 10th. We're going to have author, illustrator Penny Snyder. She does a kid's book and she has a little puppet, which is kind of cool. Make sure you go to www.eastmeadow.info for more information. And we'll see you all next time.
All right. Thank you all for coming.
You've been listening to It Came From the Radio with Matt Torres. The views of the show's hosts and guests